It is, from my experience last year, and then, of course, what we've gone through this year. It's nice to get Billy locked up to 2 years. It was a compromise. We probably did a little bit better next year and a little bit less this year than what each side wanted, so we're compromised. We're happy.
The process itself, though, went pretty well for you in terms of re-signing him?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when you're dealing with agents because I don't really know if the players get a complete gist of what's going on. So you're dealing with the agent, and the agent's got to talk to the player, and then the player gets back to the agent. And because we all work full time and don't do this, for a living, it prolongs the process. So once I got to talk to Billy, Billy called me himself. Once I was able to speak to Billy, we got this done pretty quick.
Are multi-year contracts going up or down, or because the league is changing so much? Do you get a sense of, are there more one-year deals than they're used to, or is it about business as normal?
It's probably business as normal, but to be honest with you, I'd like to lock guys up long-term, obviously, but most of these guys are pretty smart, and they want to go year by year, because it always seems in lacrosse, your salary's never going to go down. So every year you play 1 year, and whether you do good or bad, the guy wants more money the next year. So I'd love to get guys on 4 and 5 year deals, but nobody wants to do them yet.
What about Rochester's plan? They've been doing that whole 7-year thing. Is that just a big PR stunt? Or
I don't know how they're doing it. I'd love to be able to talk to Landon and figure out how he's locking these guys up for 7 years. Again, nothing's guaranteed with these contracts. So if a guy's cut, that contract goes the way of the colonel as soon as the guy gets let go. So whether a guy signs a 1-year deal or a 7-year deal, it really doesn't matter.
Steve, anyone impressed you during training camp so far that maybe you didn't know that much about, and now you're anxious to see him play this weekend and see how they do against the other shirts?
Yeah, Mitch Wild, I think, has been the guy that's really come in and shocked a lot of people. I knew Mitch. I had him in Kitchener. I don't think Troy and the rest of the staff knew much about him, and he's been great for us. Again, you got to temper it because the enthusiasm and the energy level and everything in practice is different than when you're playing against somebody else. So we're real excited to see Mitch today. And again, Nick Diachenko's another guy that his athleticism hopefully translate better into games than it does in practice. So those are the two guys that we really are excited to look at today.
After today and tomorrow, will you pretty much make up your mind on the roster, or is there any other practices after this weekend?
Well, we play Edmonton again next weekend, and then the rosters have to be set. So I think we're going to let some guys go tomorrow. I don't think we're going to let everybody go. Maybe get another look on next Saturday and some guys. But yeah, between this week and next week, everybody will be gone.
What are the rules? And this may take an hour to explain on practice squad guys.
I may not even know about it. So
the practice squad guys, can they be anybody, or do they have to be a certain experience, or how does that work?
No, anybody that we release from the active roster, we can sign to a practice roster spot up to 4, and then they can come up and down all year. Now, if you want to get into the guy we send down as opposed to the 4, we begin now we get into something that's completely off the wall and tough to get into. But the 4 guys that we start the year with on the practice roster can go up and down all year, and unlike years past, can't be taken from any. Like, we can't go to Rochester's practice roster, or Toronto can't come to ours. So the 4 guys that we put on the practice roster are ours for the year, and having seen that we've run into some injuries in the past, are going to get a chance to play. So those 4 spots are really important.
It seems like everybody in the league is in a position where getting to 20 might be somewhat difficult. Are you considering the possibility of possibly sifting through the free agents that are released by other teams in terms of making up your practice squad?
Oh, without a doubt. Like, we want to make this team as good as possible. And if somebody gets let go from Toronto or Edmonton or whoever that we think can make a difference, whether it be today or next year, that's definitely something we look at.
How about Colin Boucher? Big guy, obviously. A lot of competition at the back end. How do you think he stacks up in making the roster?
He's big. His feet are better than what we thought they were. His stick is on par with what we thought it was. So he has a good weekend this weekend. It's going to help him. He's another one of the guys. Like, we have so many people on our back end that we're going to be letting go guys that have played in this league before. So he's a guy, a bit of a project, but somebody that we look forward to coming into camp. Hopefully he has a good weekend.
How about the goaltending? Is it Cosmo and Curtis? Are they 1 and 2, or is these?
No, it's wide open. It really is. Eric Penny's come in and been better than what we thought. Steve Fryer has come in and pushed the other 2 guys. And, Cause is Cause, and Curtis hasn't had a bad camp either. So, again, I hate to reiterate that these games are going to be real important, but it's no coincidence that Steve Fryer and Curtis are playing today. They're going to push each other. It's your spot, probably behind Cause. Let's not kid anybody. So who wants the job?
With the pickup of Rory Smith, what are you hoping to see from him?
physical defense, but discipline. Troy preaches discipline, preaches preparation. We want Rory to go out there and be physical, but stay out of the penalty box. It doesn't help us if he sits in the penalty box. So just go out there, be a physical presence, and intimidate some people.
Outside of JT, it seems like really nothing's being handed into anybody, and especially as you referenced the goaltender position. Saying that Kaz most likely be the starter just emphasizes the competition on this team.
Yeah, and you know what? Nothing's handed to Kaz. I think we can say that we project Kaz to be the guy coming December 28th. But if Kaz doesn't have a good game tomorrow or next Saturday and the other two guys do, who knows? But yeah, that's the way this league's becoming with the amount of teams that we have now, the amount of players in the roster spots. There's just so many good players out there that nobody, with the exception of a 44-year-old superstar, can have anything handed to them.
I think there's always a little tinkering done with the rules, right? And the Bandits haven't, played many preseason games in the past. I would think that that's one of the things that preseason games might be helpful for, just to get used to certain things like that.
Yeah, like especially like last year with the putting the ball down, picking up, and got to go right away. Not having exhibition games, you're almost fighting against it your first two games because you don't know. And that was one of the things that I found difficult last year when I took over, because I like having exhibition games and nobody wanted to play us. And it's almost like I had to promise my next born child to anybody that we're not going to go and goon it up. We just want to play. And I think when we did that last year, we played Philadelphia. We didn't get overly aggressive. We played. So this year we had more opportunities to do it. I think our reputation is starting to change. Teams are starting to realize we're getting away from the old-time Buffalo Bandits, and we want to play lacrosse. So this year we were able to get 3. 3 is probably about the max. But yeah, hopefully next year we'll be able to play 3 different teams than Philadelphia twice.
Okay. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks.